Joining me now, live from Houston, Texas, and the campus of HCU, very special guests, Head Coach Trent Herman and Anna Gadway. Guys, thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
We're doing good. Thank you.
I'm glad. We appreciate your time. Very exciting time of the year as we get ready for another season of Southland Conference volleyball. Coach Herman, you are no stranger to this league. And as we were talking about just before we started recording, it's been a number of years now going into your 12th season at the helm. In that time that you've been in charge here at HCU, how have you seen the conference change and perhaps evolve in terms of the volleyball league?
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit. When we first joined, we were kind of the odd one out coming in. Conference was well established. We were the newbie coming in, and now we're kind of the old part of the old guard, per se, with new teams coming in, a lot of other teams going out. But I like it. With the 10 teams that we have now, it's strong, it's stable, and kind of with a lot of the stuff going on around the country with realignment, it feels good to have a stable conference.
Well, we're glad to hear it. And, speaking of that stability, I guess you could argue that stability breeds success, for you guys, at least, in terms of being the 2022 regular season champions last year, the first time in HCU history that they've won the regular season championship here in the Southland. What, if anything, just off the bat, do you have to tweak to turn that regular season championship into, and also a tournament championship this year?
Yeah, a lot of it always comes down to where your team is at the time of the tournament. How healthy are you going in? What kind of depth you've been able to develop through the course of the season because our schedules are murderer's row with playing 18 conference matches. That's a ton. And it takes a lot out of our student athletes with all the travel and just trying to have them fresh as you can going into that tournament scenario where it's one and done, and if we play an average match, anybody can beat you on that given day. So it's being able to have the depth to go into those matches and be ready to pull those tough ones out.
And Coach, you were named Southland Conference Coach of the Year last year, second successive time. I appreciate that there's team accolades that you would prefer, but what does that kind of accolade mean to you in recognition from your peers of your successes within the league?
Yeah, for me, it means that I have a really good staff and I have a really good team. Like, the players are the ones that are the ones playing. We do our part as coaches to put them in a position, hopefully, to succeed. But when it all comes down to it, it's them, and it's great to be recognized by your peers, but it becomes a team award. And that was the first thing I've told my players both times that we've been blessed to have that award is it's all because of them. Like, I don't go out and play for them. They're the ones that do it. And so it's just as much their recognition as it as mine.
And Anna, that's very nice of Coach to recognize you and the rest of the team like that. You haven't been at HCU quite as long as Coach, but you are going into your 5th year here. And you've obviously seen a lot of change around the institution, from old names to new names and development within the program. So how would you describe where HCU volleyball is right now heading into 2023?
I think compared to when I got here in 2019, I think we've changed the culture of our team a lot. We're much more team-based, and we're all about playing for each other more than we were in the past, and it's really paid off.
And last year, you were all Southland first team, all academic first team, more than 350 kills. How do you try and even top that this year? Like, how do you improve upon your individual performance as you head into 2023?
I really just work on coming into the gym every day, putting in the time, putting in the effort to work on my skills and just be better for me and my team.
What's the process been like of embedding the newcomers into your squad? The nature of college athletics is that you're always going to have some people graduating every year, potentially some transferring now, and then a new blood coming in every year as well. What do you do in terms of, as you said, building that culture with the new guys so that you're able to put together a team of successful young women as quickly as possible?
We try to be really inclusive. So whenever we're at team dinners, we're always mixing up who we're sitting with. Team bonding activities, same thing. And then on the court, we're always helping the people in our position groups and even outside the position groups, because we've been here so long and we know what Coach Herman expects. And so we try to embed it in them early so they can catch up as fast as they can to join the team.
And Coach, I guess, the obvious follow-up to that is, what is it that you expect? What does it mean to you to have someone on your team who is a HCU volleyball player?
Yeah, I mean, we love to recruit players that enjoy the game of volleyball, but they're also coming here for the academics, and what this school has to offer. It's a very unique school. We're a small private school in a big city. A lot of small private schools are in little towns. So we're able to give that small private school education, but in a city where you can find about anything that you want to do. So we're trying to find that right person and young student athlete that wants kind of the entire part of the college experience and not just the volleyball side. Happy players tend to be better players. So if they've got that good balance between education, their private lives, and volleyball, they seem to do a little bit better.
In terms of needing to do better or being able to do better, you've got some big tests on your non-conference schedule. Was that by design to help prepare you for, as you called it, the murderer's row of the Southland schedule later on this year?
Yeah, I mean, we've always tried to build our team to play nationally and not just within the Southland. So where we're located in Texas, we can go pretty close around us to play some high-level competition. With the Big 12, the SEC, the Sun Belt, there's some really high-level volleyball in our area. So being able to go this year to Texas Tech to play teams that were ranked in the top 100, to go to Tulane and get a chance at playing against Clemson, and then at Rice here in our own town, against them in Florida Gulf Coast. It gives us a chance to see what else is out there. This is the top 100. Let's go see what we got. I've always tried to play some teams like TCU a couple of years ago. We went up there and took care of that match. We played one of my first years here with a very young team. We played an Alabama team and beat them. It just gives our kids a chance to see, what the Power Five looks like, what we need to do to play against them under pressure situations. Can we hang on? And it gives us more of an idea of what it's going to be like when we get into tough matches against opponents that know us very well from the Southland. So, yeah, it just gives us another look. It was done by design this year. Sometimes we can't do it by design because teams get added to tournaments, so we don't know who's going to be in them. But this year I was able to kind of pick and choose.
And I do just want to touch briefly on Grace McLaughlin, who was our newcomer of the year in the Southland last year, in her redshirt freshman year. What allowed her to be so successful, and what are your expectations from her as part of this team heading into 2023?
Yeah, Grace was an interesting situation because we weren't expecting her to have to play as a redshirt freshman. She had come off of an ACL her freshman year. So we redshirted her, but we were expecting to have Ellie Whiff, who was our all-conference setter the year before. She had an injury early in the season, wasn't able to play. So working Grace in a year early, she did a tremendous job. Was put in that situation, and the good news for us is we had pretty much an established team around her that gave her the confidence to go out and set the ball to all the hitters we had and just play. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to great things from the entire team this year coming back.
And Anna, I think it's nice noting that there's been some renovations and you have a brand new gym floor to play on in Sharp Gym this year. that has to be an exciting addition for you guys. And, I think you're going to be the first team to play on it, obviously, with basketball starting later in the year. So where's your excitement level with that? And what kind of honor is it to open the season and open the new gym floor for HCU?
I think it's super exciting. A lot of us like playing in Sharp Gym. It's kind of a home court advantage with how small it is and how close all the fans are to the court. And not very many gyms in our conference are like that. But having a new floor just adds a nice piece to our home court gym.
And I did want to touch, Anna, on a couple of your exploits outside of volleyball. I've been told during my research that you were a superstar softball player in high school and even a regional qualifier in track too. Is there anything you can't do? And were there ever times where maybe track or softball were the direction that you were planning on going in?
My freshman year of high school was when we had a really good softball season. And after that, I was like, maybe I should do softball. Like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't super serious about college volleyball yet. But as I got farther and farther into volleyball in high school, I realized that was what I really wanted to do.
And Coach, how relieved are you that softball didn't take Anna's eye?
Oh, I'm very happy. Yeah. The recruiting process was very interesting trying to get her, but we finally got her. And, now 5 years later, it's been a great thing. And she's a great role model for our younger players. And she's already graduated. She's got her nursing degree, and we couldn't be more proud of her.
It's beautiful to hear and fantastic to hear the success that you've had over 5 years, Anna. Just lastly, obviously, as we've said, you've been there now. You're the experienced lady in amongst the team. I think it's important that we just allow you to take us behind the scenes a tiny bit. Let us get to know the women that you're teammates with just a little bit better. So as a fifth year, if some of your teammates were being very nice to you and they were going to cook you dinner, who's the one player in your squad that you think would cook you a very good dinner? And who's the one player under no circumstance would you be wanting to go for dinner at their house?
I definitely think I would want Alexia Jones to cook my dinner. She is the best hostess in everything she does. And a teammate who I wouldn't want to would probably be Tatiana Evans. I've never seen her cook a day in her life, so she would be the one I wouldn't want to cook for me.
All right, well, Tatiana, there's your challenge for the season. Get good enough in the kitchen to give Anna a meal on senior night later on this year. Coach, Anna, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us. We'll wish you nothing but the best for this year in the Southland, and we'll be cheering for you all through your non-conference schedule. Can't wait to see you guys back on the court soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Cheers. And I'll stop the recording there. Great. Well done, guys. See, Anna?
Awesome.
Easy.